Greetings, fellow retro computing enthusiasts, and a special shout out to all my fellow coconuts. What you're looking at right now is my personal color computer 3 that I actually call the CoCo3P, and we'll discuss why I call it that in a minute. I've just pulled this out of storage for the first time in a few years. And this is going to be a little project of mine to get it working again, and I'm going to take this time to show you guys some of the mods that I did to this over the years. And right off the bat, as we look at the top of it, you can see a few things are different than a normal color computer 3. First of all, I always put a power LED in my color computers. This one is no longer used and fallen through the hole. I actually have one in the keyboard here now, and this one does double duty. We'll talk more about that later too. You might also notice a giant hole here in the top, and you can see the components right on the motherboard right in there. This hole actually holds a joystick from a Nintendo 64 controller. Alright, and as you can see, I've got a cartridge in here. It's not just any cartridge. That's a disc controller. Let's just take a look over here, and there. You can see it. Actual floppy drive built into my color computer 3. Let's go ahead and pull the top off of this. I've already got all the screws out. Everybody knows what screws look like. So first thing you'll notice, nice cooling fan. I actually punched holes in the top here where it used to be solid. Give it a little airflow. That's a Pentium CPU fan and a little bit of cardboard to duct it. Let me unplug that if I can with one hand. So as you can see, what I have in here is actually a very thin line laptop drive. That drive looks to be less than 3/4 of an inch tall, and it just barely fits under the board. Also, as you can see, I've got my power coming to a 12 volt plug, so this will run off 12 volts DC. Lift up the keyboard here. It's already detached. Okay, so this circuit is actually, and it was glued down. Hot melt doesn't hold up over time. This circuit is actually to detect when the high-speed poke is engaged, so it gives me a turbo light. So the power light on the keyboard will be green when the power is on, and it'll be amber if the high speed is engaged. Also in here you see a little simple 1-watt amplifier. That speaker is just sticking by magnet to the keyboard. It's also supposed to be glued down but didn't hold over time. And that wire, that's the wire that comes back and goes to the audio input in the back. This is the power for the disk drive that I took from the motherboard, and I'm guessing I need to rework that because the last thing I remember, I think I fried the voltage regulator in this, so I'm gonna have to look into all that. Okay, so there we have it, fully exposed. You can see the floppy cable. Got a half twist in it so that it lines up with the cartridge correctly. I did have to cut the hole there for the cable to pass through. I have also this switch down here. There's a toggle switch that I can reach from the back. And basically, that allows me to access either side of the floppy disk from BASIC. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of mods I've done to this thing over the years. And I really enjoyed using it. I actually used to carry this thing to work with me in my minivan, and I'd plug it into the TV in the back on my brakes and play some video games or whatever. And I look forward to doing that again. So my plans for this thing: got to repair the power supply, possibly replace it maybe with an external wall wart, and I'll do some retro bright on the case and the keyboard because they're pretty badly yellowed.